Thank you. Hello, everybody. Thanks for coming. Can you hear me okay? Yeah, awesome. So I made a short PowerPoint, and then we can just talk. But so my name is Liz Shield. I'm a licensed clinical social worker. I started working here part-time back in August of 2020, so still during the pandemic. So I was in person. A lot of us still were, working remotely, but I started August 2020, and then eventually it became a full-time position after a lot of advocacy and showing the need. Um, so it's a full-time position, which is attached within our police department. The services I provide are free to residents of Morton Grove. And the way it works is I usually get referrals through our police and fire departments, the village, or self-referrals. So anyone can, if they have my contact information, can reach out to me directly. And then I put my phone number and email on the slide. I also brought some business cards that I believe they're on a table in the room if you're interested. So this is not an exhaustive list, but these are some of the situations where I typically become involved in and try to assist. So mental health or substance use, and this would a lot of the times be referrals from our police and fire departments, or a family reaching out on behalf of a loved one in need of some assistance, getting folks connected to long-term counseling. And I have referrals for legal aid, housing, financial assistance, senior-related services, boarding, juvenile issues if a family is having some of a hard time with one of their children. I can assist with that. And a big part of my job too is victim advocacy and support in our at the Skokie Courthouse for certain types of situations involving domestic violence, sexual assault, child or elder abuse. So I can help. Sometimes people are seeking what's called an order of protection in certain situations, and that's something that I can assist with. And then also, if there's a crime that occurred and there's a criminal case, I can do victim advocacy and follow that case in court and just provide some services to the victim. Um, Again, this is some more information about what I do, but in general, my job is to stay informed about all of the resources available in our community and to have partnerships and connections. So I'm always aware of what's available, and whenever possible, can give a warm handoff and get folks connected to an agency and get rid of the barriers that they might face in trying to reach out to a general number. For example, sometimes it doesn't always work out. So I maintain collaborative relationships. I'm a liaison between different agencies, the township, the court, attend a lot of meetings to get to be familiar with the other agencies in the area. I can provide direct services to residents. And then a lot of what I do is referral based. So someone reaches out in need of something, and if I don't know it right then and there, I'll look into it and get back to that person with some referrals. So we have in the village an American Legion Civic Center building, which operates as our senior center. So that has been up and running for a while. This is a list of the services it currently provides. So there is a health equipment lending closet, which is free. So if anyone is in need of certain health equipment, like a wheelchair, a shower seat, anything, maybe someone had a surgery and in the short term they need some type of assistive device, or for the longer term, it's actually they're pretty loose about lending out the equipment, but it's free. You would just go into the Civic Center and ask if they have the item that you're looking for, and the gentlemen that work at the front desk over there go and check, and if they do, you fill out a form and you're welcome to loan that equipment. They do the prescription drug and sharps disposal at the Civic Center. They have a big document shredder, so residents can bring in documents to shred. We're able to assist with what's called benefits access application. So for older adults on a limited fixed income. If your income is within the requirements, there's a significant discount on the license plate sticker. And that's something that you have to apply for. They do monthly health screenings. I believe right now it's blood pressure, cholesterol, and blood sugar screenings on certain days of the month. Every year they do AARP tax preparation services, which is always really popular. They're very busy during that time. And then they maintain an ongoing weekly and monthly event calendar. So every day of the week, something's going on at our civic center, our senior center. Some of it is exercise related, some is card games. It really just depends. There's monthly bingos and luncheons and all of the things. So all of that information is on the website and then also in person at the Civic Center. And then since I started here, we've began a couple of programs directed towards seniors. One is the Seniors Matter Rideshare program, which has been very successful, and I'm very happy to be able to provide this to our residents. So it started off as a grant, and then now it's also, there's some money in the village budget, but it provides free rides via Lyft Concierge. So Lyft is a rideshare company just like Uber. And it can provide rides to seniors to doctor's appointments, pharmacies, or grocery stores. There are some criteria. You do have to be able to independently enter and exit a vehicle because it's through a rideshare service. We can't guarantee that the driver would be willing or able to assist. And you do have to have a cell phone or have, because the rides are one way. So a ride would pick a person up at their home to take them to an appointment at a specific time. And then the ride back home is called a flexible ride. So whenever the appointment would be finished, the person just dials a phone number from their cell phone and a ride is waiting for them in like a queue, and they activate it by making that phone call. So it works really well. You don't have to guess how long the appointment is going to be or your grocery trip is going to be. But because of that, you do need a cell phone. And we do one ride per week, and there are some limitations on the location. So that's the rideshare program. And then we have a snow removal or lawn care program, which connects teenage students in our community with older or disabled residents for snow removal or lawn care services, so lawn mowing. It started off as a volunteer-based program, but we weren't eliciting enough volunteers for it. So we opened it up like other nearby towns have for a reasonable rate of pay to be negotiated between the resident and the student. So really our job as the village is we're the connector between. So if a resident signs up, a senior resident signs up, I give them a list of the contact information for the students, the teenagers in our area that signed up. And then that's how the services are all arranged. So I provide that contact. And again, all this information is on our website. There's a way to sign up for these programs electronically, or there's paper applications as well, both available online or in person at the Civic Center. And then a couple of financial assistance programs the village has. We do have limited water bill assistance for income eligible families. I assist with the application process, and I send applications over to our finance director, who determines if the application's approved or denied and the amount of assistance granted. And that's once per year someone can apply. And then about a year ago, we became what's called a Salvation Army extension site, which means I had to go through like onboarding as a volunteer to allow me to have access to emergency funding for certain situations. So it's a limited amount that we're given each year. It's typically used for rent or utilities, and there has to be an emergency situation that has occurred within the household or the family in order to make the person eligible. So all of those applications go through me. Oops. And then everyone is part of a township. A lot of folks I talk to, when I say, do you know what township you live in? They say, I live in Morton Grove. And I said, yes, you live in Morton Grove, but you're also part of a township, right? So I think a lot of folks just aren't aware that the townships are places that provide a ton of services, lots of different services. So I wanted to put this in here. Morton Grove is majority within Niles Township. There's a little pocket of Morton Grove that's Main Township. That's the part of Morton Grove on the side that is next to Niles. So if if you had children in your home go to like Main East, that school district, that's Main Township. The rest of it's Niles Township. So each township offers different services, but some they can offer financial assistance. They have food pantries. Main Township has pretty expansive behavioral health services. But again, they offer very different services and a lot of services. So I didn't list them all, but I just wanted to point out that those are the townships in our area. If anyone needs resources, I often end up connecting them to townships. So that's all the information that I put in my PowerPoint, and there's my contact information again. And I figured just kind of be informal, open up to questions. If anyone has questions, happy to answer them.